Oh my goodness.
Happy New Year, bitches.
Look at that. And of course, right before we go live, I realized that I have this goddamn hair in my nose that's just like bugging the fuck out of me.
Grab some tweezers and get that.
Yeah, I know, really. I know. I'm gonna have to do that after the show. Of course, because that's what everybody needed to know, right?
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, brother.
January 2nd, 2023.
Oh, ew.
And I only got that right because it was the first episode of the new year, because I will be saying 22 for the next 6 months.
That's true. Yes.
And,
yeah. It's 23. 23. Ugh.
You guys ready for this?
No, but hit it anyway.
All right.
Hit it.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indy Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indy Comics Network or its sponsors.
It's Monty Moore. I'm a 30-year comics veteran in comics, games, and movies, and you've been watching one of my absolute favorite podcasts, Catch the Craze.
You are watching Catch the Craze.
What am I listening to?
And you're listening to Catch the Craze.
Where are all the indies at?
A Catch the Craze podcast.
What are you watching?
I'm watching Catch the Craze.
What are you going to do?
Subscribe now to Catch the Craze, the #1 show online for independent.
Have you subscribed to?
You are an independent. Catch the Craze! Making moves on your own. Catch the Craze! On your grind in the streets. Catch the Craze! Join the movement. Catch the Craze!
Hey. Oh,
Good morning, Daphne.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So who's joining us in the chat today?
All right, so far we've got Efrain, who thinks we're sluts. And
no.
Good morning, Alison.
But he's saying that
Marvy.
Sure. Hello, Marvy. Hello, Efrain. Hello, everybody. Good morning, everybody. And yes, good morning to the 6 people of you next to the giant eyeball on my screen, joining us from regions beyond. Thank you so much for joining us on this first vlog of 2023. Well, our first vlog. I mean, because Randy had his first vlog yesterday. So technically, we're the second, but we're the third actually.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter. This is our first Rage and 2 vlog of the year of 2023. Oh my goodness. Welcome everybody to another show. Thank you for joining us again. Thank you for still being here with us. Oh, I hope you all had a great new year. I hope everybody pretty much survived the holidays intact, or at least better than I did. But yeah, it's like so here we go again. So another 365 days of this shit. So
all right.
Here we go. Let's start it off right? So hello, everybody. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I've been self-publishing comics since 1992, and I'm known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, returning to Kickstarter this year. Early this year. Either it's like I haven't decided when yet, either in January or February. Depends on a lot of things going on, but it's coming. Early 2023, coming soon, so keep an eye out for that. And I'm also known for my medieval fantasy soap opera drama, Eagle Raven Air the First Unicorn, which returns to Kickstarter late spring 2023. So again, keep an eye out for that as well. We're already on issue 6. Can you believe that? I can't believe that. Issue 6 already. It's like, look, the year's already over. the year's already. We're already in 2025. I don't know what we're doing. You can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out all of my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network and Indie Comics Network After Dark. So now you have 3, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you have a lot of places.
Lots of places.
Don't ask me to do math right now. It's like I am in no condition to be doing anything with numbers right now. Oh, but to tell you more about it, to tell you more is this person right here. Nita, take it away.
Okay, so my name is Nita Lanning, and I'm the executive producer at Indie Comics Network that brings you those channels and stuff. And so, yeah, that's it right now. That's all I am.
Yeah,
I'm the dumb girl that couldn't be, right?
Right. I guess the both of us. You know, I mean, Jesus Christ. So yeah. Oh yes, and before I forget, and yes, and because we have all these YouTube channels, right? But because if you are watching us from Facebook, from Twitter, yes, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat.
It's so much easier to talk.
It really is. It really is. Facebook is always acting up, and Twitter doesn't even allow us to see the comments. So if you want to interact with us, which you can, come on over to YouTube. And when you're over here, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you get notified whenever we go live with any of the multitudes of shows that we have now and will be having coming up. I mean, really, even I'm surprised. It's like you guys want to hang out with us, really? What's wrong with you? But you know what? Hey, people wanna join us here, and they want to share their expertise, their talent, their art with you. So it's like, yeah. So come on over, subscribe, notifications. You know what to do. Make the algorithm gods happy. Well, at least the algorithm gods are happier than I am. That's for sure. Oh my goodness. So how was your holiday?
Okay, so like after House of Bob, right? We take the kids outside for fireworks, right? And there's like this fog rolling in. And at first it was like a like fucking creepy were you'd see like just the top halves of cows.
All of a sudden it says directed by John Carpenter in the sky.
I swear to God, yeah. Look, there were 2 blocks, okay, and these aren't city blocks. These are fucking
right.
Like when we say blocks, we're talking the next stop sign. So less than a quarter mile down the road,
right?
They were blowing up artillery shells. The fog got so thick, so quick that we could not see any of the fireworks just 2 blocks away. Like it was like Declan, my middle kid would walk off into the, like he'd be 4 or 5 feet from you and you couldn't see him. So he was doing the thing where he was like jumping out of the fog.
It's that scene from The Mist.
It was like fucking, I swear.
Everyone had to tie the ropes around themselves.
It was some Silent Hill type bullshit. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
Right.
Like never. Wow. It was insane. And then,
it was the year 2022 was so precarious it had to go out with artillery shells.
But you couldn't, and you could not see. The only fireworks we got to see is the neighbor in the next driveway over was launching some that were directly over our head, and if you looked up, you could see them. But we could hear. It sounded like a fucking war zone all around, but you could not see shit. You couldn't even see flashes of light coming through the fog. It was so fucking thick.
Wow.
It was insane.
I mean, because the fireworks weren't that bad this year, because usually
it was werewolf weather.
That definitely sounded like definitely sounded like. Oh my goodness, No, it's like no, unfortunately mine wasn't that as exciting. In fact, it was really fucking annoying because I spent the last 3 weeks in a modicum amount of pain, consistent pain, and I'm just finally getting over it. And it's left me in a mood. It's really left me in a mood. For those of you who don't know, about a couple of days before Christmas, I made the mistake of going to Costco and trying to pick up a box of those the gallon waters that have 6 in them. So it's 6 gallons of water in one box.
Lift a flat of water.
And I tried to lift that up and regretted it and very much regretted my decision. And only this morning am I finally in a position where I can say I am not completely in pain. But it's like I was telling Nita, I feel like that meme, that Simpsons meme of the kid in the bus.
Ralph on the bus.
Ralph, yes, like, I'm in danger. I mean, I don't even want to bend over and tie my shoes. It's like I feel like if I do like the slightest thing, I might reset myself all over again. And it's like, and like I said, it's been a tough 3 weeks for me. And because of that, my patience for everything was kind of at a minimum, and especially my patience for bullshit. Which maybe some of you have caught on some of the shows.
Yeah, and it's like crazy because your patience for bullshit. This is comics.
It's like, but I can honestly say sorry, not sorry.
Right.
It's like, that's look. And the thing is though, and today was no different. Today was no different. I was, hey Vess. I woke up ready to fight. It's like I had like everything fucking annoying me today. It's like actually since last night, like I said, since the past 3 weeks, I've just had everything culminating today. It's like, I don't know. It's like I just got like so fed up with certain things. I'm it's like I was just like really tired of what I just have to call like comics victims.
Yeah,
where it's like, that it's like no matter what, it's like,
there's an excuse for their lack of success.
There's an excuse for everything, and it's like, and it's like, and you try to like, try to discuss certain things, and it's like, well, web comics don't count as comics, manga doesn't count as comics, this doesn't count, that
comics isn't comics anymore.
Yeah, comics isn't count, that doesn't count. It's like, it's like, it's the whole, it's like, it's the whole like, you can't be successful unless you do titty books. And I'm coming around going, well, that's not true. And they go, fuck you. Oh, we need this to be true. And
you don't know anything. You know nothing.
And it's like, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, you know what? And I'm sitting here, and it's like, okay, you know what? It's
you
like,
stupid girl.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you know what? If you want to sit there and look at me like I'm just some like stupid bitch that doesn't know how to do math, one, you're correct. And two, it's like, you know what? Fuck it. It doesn't matter. It's like, you know what? It's like, you know what? If you want, to do your comic and believe that an entire industry is out to get you, it's like, you know what? Fuck it. It is. It's like, no, whatever. It's like if you think that it's like because the industry isn't like the way it was 20 years ago, it's like, you know what? You're right. You're right. It's like, you're right.
So
it's
fuck
like,
it. Don't even try. Quit whining. Quit bitching. Throw it all away. What are you doing then? Why are you wasting your time?
Right. Exactly. I was, it's like, I'm just like really fucking, like like I said, I'm just up to here. Like I said, it's like, it's the pain talking, but you know what? It's like, so I'm not sorry about that either, and it's like, and then it's like, but here's the funny thing. So I was like ready to rage, and this is me not raging. I was ready to like I said, I was ready to come on here and fight. And then Sam Vera had a new video pop up. So I'm angrily eating my breakfast, And I go, fuck it, let's see what Sam has to say. Right. And it was his latest video. When you don't know what to work on yourself. It's his latest catch the craze, I guess, in 10
it's in our
minutes
show notes.
It's in the show notes. And and Sam was talking about pretty much the same frustration, the frustrations that he, yeah, exactly.
That's
I mean, it's
exactly
like, and that's what
is.
was like, that it's like, instead of like actually like trying
thinking,
to
what else
some
can I
stuff.
do? What can I do better? How can I market better? Where do I need to network? What do I need to do? No, it's they, because of them.
Yeah,
because
it's them.
of
It's
because
them.
of
It's
them.
because I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. It's like I refuse to do titty books, or I refuse to do this or this. And it's like, it's always like an outside thing, right? So I'm like I said, I'm angrily eating breakfast. I turn Sam on, and at that moment, for that 10 minutes, it was almost like he was talking directly to me at that moment. And it was like, and and the thing is, though, he brought up some of this stuff, how it's like 2022 was like kind of weird and tough for a lot of people, where it's like it just felt like it was really hard to gain traction, or it's like, or it was just like, it seemed like Kickstarter was moving in a particular direction that you didn't want to go, yeah, exactly. I mean,
I've got the chart for that. I'm talking like there's an increase. It's going up, and everybody's talking about, oh, it's collapsing. No, bitch, it's selling more. What are you talking about?
Oh, well, as long as you don't count webcomics and manga and everything else that's successful, it's failing.
This graph took manga out of the equation.
Right. So it's like I said, it's like people always had like some kind of thing, oh, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. It's like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. It doesn't, So like I said, it felt like Sam was talking to me directly. And he was like going, and in the end, it's like what he was talking about, and the thing is, though, and it kind of like, and even he kind of said, it's like, oh, it felt like Kickstarter was moving to more adult material and whatnot, which I still hold by my numbers that it's not true. But the thing is,
we're not talking finances, so don't fucking message me and say that again.
Right, exactly.
We're talking about the percentage of the content.
Of the top 200 most funded. I'm not aggregating the 23,000. And see, and that's this thing also that irritated the fuck out of me. The implication that unless I had aggregated all 23,000 Kickstarters, I had no right to talk about the first 200. And it's like, look, if you guys didn't want to listen to anything else that I said explaining why I did that, that's your problem, not mine.
Yes.
So,
if I had one.
Right. So like I said, so Sam was like talking. Yeah, I know. So Sam was talking about how, like, in the end, like he was seeing, I guess, kind of like the writing on the wall for him, where it's like, well, those are not the type of books that I want to do. What am I doing? It's like, what is it that I want to do? Is it about just making the money? Is it about, collecting that bag and, getting whatever the fuck you want at the end of that rainbow? Hey, and it's like, and he was talking about like how committed that he was going to, like, how committed he was to his comic, There's an Alien in My Toilet, and his character Duty, and it's like, and yeah, and it's like, and he, well, that was the House of Bob episode. Oh, and thank you everybody who joined us on that absolutely ridiculous.
It was great. It was
that absolutely ridiculous episode of House of Bob. If you missed it, we do have it on replay on the After Dark channel. It was just really funny. And he was talking about like how completely dedicated he is going to be to Duty and his book, and how that's his goal, that it's like, what, that in the end, no matter what happens, that he would rather stand behind a book that has his passion,
right?
That this is what he wants to do, then I don't know, than to put together some kind of book that he doesn't care about because it's like, oh, I got to get that bag,
Right.
And the thing is, though, it's like, and I'm sitting there and I'm eating, and it's like, oh, you're right. You're right. It's like in the end, it's like it doesn't matter. It's like, what are you doing? What are you working on? And and it's just like it's like, what, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, I talk about, reading Stoic philosophy and Marcus Aurelius and they talk about not giving 0% of your attention to anything you cannot control. 0%. Because if you can't control it, it's not worth your time. Because you're only wasting your time. You have no control over it. Do you have control over a crowdfunding platform that may or may not be going in a direction you don't want to go in? I'm not even going to argue the fucking numbers. If you want to believe that it's all TNA books on Kickstarter, that's on you.
Fine. That's all there ever was.
It's like, if that's where you think that it's going, you have no control over that. That's where it's going. There are a lot of people who support those types of books. They only want to see those type of books. You have no control over that. It's like you have no control over an overall industry that does not function the exact same way it did 30 years ago. When we had 20 distributors, when Diamond was just another distributor, and it's like, and we were all able to get into comic book stores. That doesn't exist anymore. It's like, it's like you have no control over the fact that you can't find comics in candy stores.
Right.
That some random kid cannot just walk into a supermarket like I did and find Rocket Raccoon on the rack. In a supermarket. It's like that those days are gone. So kind of like pining for that and kind of like connecting to why your books aren't selling or they're not selling enough or they're not breaking this threshold. So it's like one has, in the end, one has nothing to do with the other because you have no control over it. All you can control is what you do. And and the thing is, and it's like, and it's like I said, I'm eating my bagel. I'm like going, yes, yes, yeah, Sam, you're right, you're right. And yeah, and you see, and that's part of it too. With John, it's like, yeah, exactly. Oh, hey, Jake. And it's like, and then it's like, like for me, it's like listening to people insist that kids aren't reading comics, but then I look at the manga section,
right,
at the outlet over here, or at the comic book outlet over here. It's like like I said, it's like not only are kids reading manga, they're reading light novels. So they're obviously they're reading. It's like, so it's like, no, it's not that kids aren't reading. It's not like kids aren't, they'd rather play video games. They are reading comics. They're just not reading yours.
Right.
I mean, and in the end, it's like, look, it's like either you decide you have control over that or right, exactly. So it's like all is the manga halcyon days, probably, where it's like, and it's like, yeah, it's like, you can walk into any Barnes and Noble and the manga is right there, and it's like, right, exactly. It's like when Borders collapsed, it felt like manga had collapsed with it, but then it's like it surged back. Jose was telling me yesterday that now it's like you can find manga at dollar stores.
Yep.
Where it's like that you can get like a volume 1 or something, and not only that, but they tell you in the book how to get the rest of the series. So it's just like, but you know what? That doesn't count. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know what? Okay, fine, it doesn't. So in the end, what does? What does count? And that's what Sam was saying, that it's like, what are you doing? It's like, what are you here for? It's like, and it's like, I'm here to do Tall Tales and Eager Raven. That's what I'm here for. And it's like, and it's like, we've talked about how it just seems that Tall Tales seems to be a harder sell than Eager Raven, but it's like, but in the end, it's like, yeah, but it's still selling.
Right.
So is it really that bad?
No, it's not bad at all. The thing is, we're just trying to figure out, but that's just it. We're not giving up. We're not being like, oh, it's because so-and-so put out a book that was similar, or this book was sexier this time. It wasn't, it's not like you're sitting there doing that. We're trying to figure out different ways to, network out, get more, like what approach can we take to get this thing?
Right. Yeah.
Not, oh my God, there's so much nobody can see it. So just give up and curl up and die.
Right. Yeah. It's like, it's like, it's like, and that's the thing. And it's like, I know that for Sam, it's harder because when I did aggregate the first 200, right, I did say it's like the one thing that I didn't see on that 200 list was anything marked all ages. So he knows he has a tough road ahead of him trying to sell an all ages project.
Look, I'm going to go ahead and say this. As far as the youth in comics and crowdfunding, it's an unattainable audience. And here's why. Because Tom said it last night on Jose's show. Tom Hutchinson from Big Dog Inc. He said, he was talking about the platform. You got to, where are the kids? The kids are on where? YouTube. Here's the problem with that. We've got all these shows on YouTube, podcasts for the comics and whatnot. YouTube is so restrictive on content that you can target children with, that it would be damn near impossible to be able to promote all ages comics. Like
that's true. Like that's true. Because when they did the whole COPA thing and they were locking down on all channels that were targeting kids, it was like, I mean, honestly, I think it was more restrictive than if you were doing straight up pornography on YouTube.
It was fucking crazy.
Because you're not allowed to have advertising. If you say that your videos are for kids, you're not allowed to have advertising, right? You're not allowed,
which means you can't promote any crowdfunding,
right? You're not allowed. Comments are not allowed either,
right? So
you can't get any engagement whatsoever. So it's like, so I have no idea what that's all about.
So therefore, if that's the case, this is where the boom is, because it was like he was saying yesterday, you could have $1,000, you can have 1,000 books in retail and make $3K if they all sell, or 1,000 books or 1,000 books sold off of a crowdfunder and make 30,000.
Right.
Like, it's just like, so where the money is in the market as far as children, it's one is here and one is over there, and really the audience, because of the platform the kids are on, I believe is unobtainable. Yes, you can fund. I'm not saying an all ages book can fund, but it's going to be very, very hard to get an all ages book to hit 5 figures.
Right.
Like it's
yeah,
crazy.
But the thing is,
so if you want to point your finger, the only people that can be pointing their fingers right now are the all ages people, because there is no easy setup for them. There is no there's no straight line.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. But the thing is, though, is that every time I hear about the pointing fingers, it's like, you see, the problem with pointing a finger, when you stare at the finger, you miss out all on the heavenly glory. It's like, however that scene went. So it's like, so Sam was just sitting there reminding me, why am I doing this? In the end, it's like, why the fuck does it bother me, that people want to argue with me about, in the end, superficial numbers? It's like, why am I, one, because my leg fucking hurts. That's why. And it's like, but it's like, but in the end, it's like, okay, you know what? Oh, thank you. Right.
And that's why we counted them.
Right. Well, the thing is, though, is that so does Kickstarter.
Thank you.
Kickstarter counts. And look, and even when I did my numbers, they counted a fucking statue as comics. And, and I said I wasn't really counting that.
Right.
Because it was so obvious. It's just a fucking statue. It's, and the thing is, so it's like, and in the end, it's like, why am I so concerned, about, it's like, if people want to argue about whatever limitations they think are on them, that's on them.
Right.
It's like, so here was Sam telling me what am I doing? And it's like, you know what? You're right. It's like, what am I doing? I'm doing Tall Tales. I'm doing Eagle Raven. I'm doing these books that I care deeply about. It's like, yeah, one is more mature. The other one is more action oriented, and it's like, and I don't regret any decision that I make on either of those books. It's like, yeah, it's like, is there a whole goof thing with, kind of playing around with Eagle Raven and the adult stuff? Yeah. But you know what? But in the end, that's where I want to go anyway. That's where I want to be. So it's like, if I really do put out a one shot that's literally called Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut, it's because we're all having a laugh together.
Damn straight.
It's a joke that popped up on Facebook, and we're all having a laugh at it. But it's not because I feel like, oh my God, I really have to do that book to make any money on Kickstarter. It's like, no, it's like, you know what? I'm going to take that premise. Let's see, can I take that premise and have fun with it?
Right.
And have fun with a borderline adult book, and it's like, yeah, it's like, look, it's like, we have House of Bob on the schedule, the adult sketchbook. It's like, look, if I really only cared about making money on Kickstarter, yeah, then probably I would have only been doing House of Bob from the very beginning. It's like my first House of Bob sketchbook, a black and white 24-page. I made like $2,000 on 40 people.
Right.
And it's like, when I need more, more of that to make that much on a regular comic. It's like, it's like, yeah, it's like doing adult stuff is easier money. I'm not saying that it's easy money. That's the thing. He's like, that's also a thing that people want.
Yeah, because God forbid they're going to misquote you.
It's like, because that was also another thing people wanted to argue with me about. That it's easy. Yeah, doing adult stuff, doing the TNA books, doing the Bad Girl, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, it's easier money, but it's not easy money. Because just because you put a big titty girl on the cover doesn't mean it will sell if it still doesn't attract people on a certain level. In the end, people still need to want your shit, no matter what you do.
Right.
So it's like, it's not that I'm saying that one is better than the other or this, that, and the other. But but going back to Sam Video. So it's like, so he's literally talking me off the edge here, and believe it or not, this is me off the edge right now, because like I said, I was ready to come in here and fucking fight everybody. 3 weeks of this shit, and I was like up to here. And that's the thing. And in the end, it's like, yeah, you know what are we doing this for? It's like, if you just want to make money in comics, you guys know what to do. If you guys know the type of books that sell, the type of artwork that sells, it's like, you know the checklist. We all know the checklist. We've seen it. We see it in action. We know the checklist. Short of you being Polito and Keanu Reeves. Okay, we all know the checklist. Go do that. If it's all about getting that bag, go do it. Now, here's the thing, though. If those are the books you actually want to do, you actually enjoy doing books like that, then
have at it.
Have at it. It's like, but it's like, it's just really funny to see how it's like they're doing those books, but at the same time, they're all like mad defensive about it as well.
Of course.
And it's like, look, and I understand that too. Because it's like, if you do enjoy doing more adult oriented work, people are going to side eye you.
Oh yeah, they are.
People are going to dismiss my book. Well, they have. It's like, oh, the only reason Eagle Raven sells is because it has a chick on the cover. Like, that's it. The only reason there's a chick on the cover and a woman is drawing it. So yeah, people are going like, that's it. It's like, oh yeah, because it's like the fact that I'm doing it and enjoy a comic that people might enjoy. And it's like, yeah, okay, fuck that, right? That doesn't matter.
No, you're a heck.
Yeah, so like, right, you know, um, yeah, well, you see, I just couldn't do that. I actually got my ass blocked on Patreon for doing that. Somebody at Patreon,
literally.
Somebody got to stick up their ass on Patreon about my adult
About
account.
an ass.
About an ass, yeah, and and I haven't been on Patreon since for adult stuff. I have a very neglected regular Patreon on there.
But no, adult art doesn't necessarily need a Kickstarter, but
right.
I'm all for those guys using Kickstarter as a platform.
Right, exactly. Because it's like,
they could simply just fucking put a censored version on Facebook and move that shit. I mean,
right, that's true. I mean, it's like either way. I mean, it's like, look, if you want to sell adult stuff, like I said, have at it. It will sell.
Have at it.
Yeah, just like I said, as long as it's a book you want to do and it's a book that you're having fun with, have at it. Are people going to side eye you for doing that?
Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. Anything, but you know what? Anything you do, people are going to side eye you anyway.
So you should do what you want regardless. And that is the lesson I learned of 22.
It's like people are going to be up your ass no matter what you do. So might as well do what you want, and that's the thing. And it's like, but not perm banned. They gave me enough of
they banned her, and she's like, "Fuck you, I'm out."
Right? Yeah, it's like they gave me enough. They banned my account for a couple of weeks until I fixed the issue, and then once I did that, I took everything down. I don't even know who Sinopa Sam is, so I don't even know. But I'm talking about Sam Vera right here, and so Sam is talking me down off the ledge, and it's like, yeah, it's like, but you know what? But here's the thing too: if you're going to do a book that that you want to do, there's going to be the good and the bad that comes with it. And it's like, there's going to be people who believe in you, and there's going to be people who are going to hate every inch of you no matter what you do.
Right.
It's like, yeah, exactly. There, because what it is that if you're not, it's like, because they're not accomplishing anything, so it's like, but what is it? There's this, I think it was Theodore Roosevelt. He had a speech that he did where he was talking about the man in the arena, where it's like everybody in the audience, is there booing him and whatnot. Meanwhile, it's the man in the arena who's putting in the effort to do the thing. Exactly. He's the one there. He's the one there doing the thing, while everybody else in that arena has an opinion on how he's doing it. And that's what it is. It's like, we're the man in the arena. We are in the arena. We're doing our books. We're doing our stories. We're telling our stories. And what it is that, yeah, it's like, maybe I'm allowing too many people who are not minding their fucking business to get in my head.
Yeah. Well, it's hard not to, because it's the majority. But here's the thing, there's like this, okay, this is so ugly, right? Like, the people that are the ones that are barking all the time and bitching about everything the loudest, okay? Look at these projects. Okay, so like,
without naming names.
I'm not even kidding. Okay, if you're not moving, if you're not selling, it's like, it doesn't make sense to me, because everybody out there that seems to have decent work is doing well. The ones that are barking and bitching, if you go and fucking look at what they're trying to move, it's like either they don't know how to market, their social media reach is very, very limited, or the work is shit. The writing is either crap or bad. The letters look like crap, or it's subpar.
I mean, but here's the thing, though, because I've equally seen subpar work get mad attention because
they know how to fucking market.
Right. You know, so I don't want to, so I don't want to like just say, oh, it's because of your work, you know, if something works or doesn't work, because like, look, I'm
not saying it's because there's something lacking on your end. Right. It is your marketing or it is your work. Right. Or there's something flawed there.
Right.
On your end. Check yourself before you start pointing at everyone else.
You know, well, no, that's true. But then also at the same time, you could be doing everything right and still not get traction. You know, now, of course, you're going to have the person who says, well, if you're doing everything right and not getting traction, it means you're not doing everything right. You know, but it's like, okay, well, here's the thing. You know, it's like, it's literally everything that we talk about, you know, everything that we talk about on this show, you know, is comes from personal experience. So all we can tell you is what we see working for us and what doesn't work for us. You know, and then what you have to decide is whether that information means anything to you. And whether, you know, maybe something that we did didn't work for us, but maybe you can get it to work for you. Or maybe just the opposite. Something that worked for us doesn't work at all for you. You know, yeah, it's like, no, and it's true. And it's true. And that's also another thing about Stoic philosophy that they also talk about as well, is that surround yourself with people who act like sails, not anchors. You know, it's like you want to be surrounded by people who have the same vision as you do, you know, and it's, you know, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, no, and it's like, yeah, and that's the thing too. And I guess it's like, that's also the thing that I'm kind of like not having patience for right now. You know, that it's like that people who always like they always want to go, you know, it's like, look, and I could be that way myself sometimes, you know, it's because it's very easy to be like that, you know, but in the end, it's like, okay, I have these books that I'm putting out. What I have to worry about is where is everything that I do to the service of my books. Is everything that I do, it's like, is everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm saying, everything that I'm accomplishing, does it serve these books, these two books that I want to get out there, that I want to do, that I want to get out there? And here's the thing too, I've always said that it's like when it comes to these books, you know, especially when it comes to Eager Raven, because that's my solo book pretty much, is that I do it for an audience of one and that everything else is just bonus, you know, but I have to admit it's more fun when there's more people to share it with. It's like, yeah, I could do Eager Raven myself. You guys wouldn't even have to know anything about the book. But it's more fun when you do. It's more fun when I'm able to talk about all my silly characters and how ridiculous I sometimes get with the stories, you know, and how absolutely crazy I get with the characters sometimes, you know, especially on the Facebook. And you know, and have everybody enjoy it. It's like, yeah, we know these characters, so we know what you're doing, so we think it's funny or we think it's this, and we're all having a good time together. You know, I mean, that's, you know, it's like, you know, it's like, you know, it's like, you know what it is? It's like, I want to be surrounded by, I enjoy being surrounded by people where I can literally talk about how, it's like, I can literally say something stupid like, God, my characters make me horny. And everyone will know what I'm talking about. I mean, that's how much joy this book brings me. That's how much joy my work brings me. And I want to share that. And you know what? And it's like, and yeah, doing this excites me. You know, it really does. You know, it's like, I want to share my artwork out there. I want to share my books. I want to share these out with everybody, you know, but the thing is though, not everybody cares.
No.
You know, so it's like, I can't care about them either. If you're not interested in anything that I have to say and anything that I have to do, thank you, Jake. Thank you. You know,
And that's the attitude to have.
Right.
Work on doing shit differently.
Exactly.
Figure it out. But about this, no, absolutely not. But there's always it's either going to be the art, marketing, the networking, something. There's something else that you could be doing. Or like Daphne said, there's so much out there. People are getting fucking buried with good campaigns and decent art and.
And it's like, and it's like, look,
but sitting around complaining about it and pointing at successful people and being envious of their success and bashing them and fucking knocking them is not going to do you any
Last
good.
I checked, Keanu Reeves did not do a titty book to become the #1 selling comic book on Kickstarter ever.
No, but we've seen some shit books slap a set of tits on the cover and fucking
blow
and
probably
up.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing, and do what? And do what? Are you going to do that? It's like, if you're not going to do that, then don't worry about it.
It's like
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Dude, this whole episode has been one rule, Daphne.
Has been what?
Been the one rule.
What one rule?
Mind your fucking business.
Yeah, and you know what? And I think in the end, it's like, and in the end, I think that was Sam's thing, that was the thing that I got out of Sam's video. Like I said, Sam's video is in the show notes, because you know what? If I needed to hear that today, a lot of you also needed to hear that.
Morning, Joe.
Hey, Joe. And and it's like, and that's the thing. It was like, what? That's the third rule of the ancients. Mind your business.
That's it.
And yeah,
that's
I
right.
agree. Like, you know what it is? Too blessed to be stressed type of thing. And it's like, and you know what? And that's what we forget. It's like,
okay, rule number 2, Jake.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 3. We don't number our rules here because we don't math.
Right. Yes, exactly. We don't maths here. But that's what we forget too. It's like, you know what? It's like, here we are in an industry that is so unusual. I mean, it's like, we tell our own stories. We're not depending on corporations to entertain us. It's like, we can literally entertain ourselves and each other outside of a corporate structure. Right. I mean, how insane is that? And the fact that we can do that, I mean, it's like, look, honestly, I mean, it's like, it's the one thing, having this pain in my leg really, really, I mean, because there came a point where I couldn't either sit and I couldn't either stand. I couldn't stand or sit for a long period of time. And it was just a back and forth, and it was just like, it was interfering with me being able to work, and that really bothered me. Right. That really bothered me. I'm about to make myself verklempt at the thought. It's like, because it's like, for those moments, I'm like going, holy shit, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And it was just like panic mode almost. It's like, imagine not being able to do what you are able to do right now. I don't know why am I being emotional right now? I don't know why. What the fuck am I doing?
I'll tell you why. Because because we watched this happen last year. Like, serious. Like, and the reality is it's like, you never do know. So you might as well love what you're doing. Do it and stop bitching and worrying about what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, really. Jesus Christ, I feel like an asshole right now. What the fuck? Hold on. Let me put myself together.
Let me throw a bump.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you.
In the middle of the night or early Friday morning, depending upon where you are in the world, a group of experienced comics professionals get together to examine and instruct about the art form that they love. That's great comic artwork on Comics by Night, Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern, here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
What was that? This is not a charade.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Okay.
so.
You good?
Yeah, I just needed some water and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You know what it is? I think that today is probably the first time that I'm not really feeling any pain in 3 weeks. I don't know what to do with the feeling.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's like that's what I think it is. That's what I think it is. It's like because it's like for the past 3 weeks, it's like I said, it's been really hellish for me. You know, like and like literally, it's like, you know, I haven't been able to sleep correctly because it's like, you know, I had this pain in my leg and whatnot, and last night was the first time. It's like I'm a stomach sleeper, right? So it's like I couldn't do that for the past 3 weeks. And this morning I woke up on my stomach realizing that it's like, holy shit, I slept on my stomach and didn't even know it because I didn't have pain in my leg. And like I said, I feel like I'm in a danger zone right now, you know? And, you know, and yeah, it's like, yeah. Oh, no. That's what I'm trying not to do, Patrick. That's what I'm trying not to do. Like I said, I don't even want to turn in my chair practically, you know? But, you know, so it's like, so maybe that's just what it is. It's like, you know, after 3 weeks of this bullshit and seeing kind of like the end of the tunnel, like, I don't know what to do with myself. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so in the end, you know, so I'm watching, so it's like I watched this video, this 10-minute video that Sam did, and he, like I said, he talked me off the edge. He talked, you know, and it's like, yeah, so it's like, I don't know what's that. So I guess the motto for 2023 is mind your fucking business. You know? I think that's going to be the motto for 2023. It's like, you know what, do whatever the fuck you want. If it's what you want to do it. you know, and it's like, and you know, it's like, look, results may vary.
Right.
You know, that's the thing. It's like, you know what? It's probably like some of us are going to take a longer time than others to find our audience. You know? Yeah. Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, yeah. Yeah. It came close to me on like before Christmas too, you know? You know, and yeah, so I think that's kind of like what I'm going to be going into 2023. I mean, because here's the funny thing. So we did Volume 1, Eager Raven Volume 1, right?
Right.
And I swear to God, if I hadn't have gone on vacation for that week, I guarantee that campaign would have made $10,000. I would have been able, that week we could have pushed it to 10. You know, because it ended at 8.6 or something. Yeah. And it's like, if I hadn't have gone on vacation for that week, we could have gotten it to 10. Right. So, you know, and I always said how it's like that campaign messed me up because I was expecting to be lucky if I made $3,000 on that campaign. And what happened was that it kind of raised my expectations for the issue 5 campaign. It's like, oh my God, is this going to be my $10,000 campaign? And I think and what happened is that I put undue pressure on myself and that book, you know? and here's the thing. So in the end, we ended up.
Well, you were adding wrong variables.
Well, yes, it's like I was looking too much at the actual dollar sign than I was as, you know what? It's the backers that count. You know what? Let's concentrate on the backers. Let's get the backers back. And we did. And it's like we were able to get the same 173 backers was on my issue 4 campaign, and we were able to get 173 backers on the issue 5 campaign. Like I said, I don't know if they're the exact same backers, but look, as long as the numbers superficially match, I was pretty happy with that.
Right.
And we ended up making what, like 5-3, I think, or something like that. And okay, it underperformed, right? No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
And that's the thing too. It's like, did it underperform? Yeah, if I was comparing it to volume 1, sure, but I wasn't supposed to compare it to volume 1. It's kind of like, people arguing as to whether Avatar is a flop at the box office. The shit only made like $500 million worldwide in its opening weekend. I mean, it's like, you know what? It depends on what numbers you're running. If you want to consider that a movie that makes $500 million, although technically James Cameron said that the movie has to make $2 billion to.
Patrick has jokes.
Yes.
No, that's not the joke. Here's the joke. Look.
Right.
She knows better. Relax, like Nita.
Right. No. No, I can't. No. It's like the parrot wouldn't like it. He wouldn't like the smoking.
Daphne makes Nita relax.
Yeah,
Damn.
Right, so so James Cameron says that the movie has to make $2 billion just to break even. And it's like, you know what, with numbers like that, it's like, does it even matter? And here's the thing too, like there was an argument as to whether Wakanda Forever was a flop because it didn't meet expectations. And everyone was talking about, oh, well, if it didn't make X amount of money, it means that it's not a good movie. And it's like, here's the thing. Did you like the movie? Did you like the movie? It's like, you know what? Any movie. It's like, when people want to argue about, well, if it made like for some reason they're correlating, the amount of money something is making to whether it's a good thing. Did you like the movie? Did the people laugh? It's like, did you get paid? It's like, I mean, it's like, oh, because it's funny that whole thing. Did the people laugh? Chris Rock had told a story about how Bill Cosby, ironically enough, later on, how Bill Cosby at the beginning of Chris Rock's career, that Bill Cosby was admonishing Chris Rock about doing blue humor, doing dirty jokes and whatnot. And Bill Cosby, who at the time, was America's dad. Was complaining to him that it's like, no, you have to do clean humor if you want to succeed. Regardless of the fact that at the time Bill Cosby was drugging and raping women left and right, but that's besides the point. But as long as he did clean comedy, right? So he was really up Chris Rock's ass about that. So Chris Rock called up Richard Pryor to complain about that. He was having a crisis of faith. It's like, oh, Bill Cosby was saying that I shouldn't be doing dirty humor and this, that, and the other thing. What should I do? And that's what Richard Pryor said. Did the people laugh? Did you get paid? Then fuck what he says. So here's the thing. Are you doing what you want? Are you doing what you want? Are you doing, are you telling the story that you want? Okay, maybe, it's like, even if you're not necessarily getting the results that you want right now, are you doing what you want? Then it's like everything else. Then once you start succeeding at everything else, it's a bonus. But never lose sight of the fact that you're telling the story that you want.
Right.
Because like I said, we're in a very unusual circumstance. We can entertain ourselves. you know? So just because you're not making X amount of money, you're not making, 5 figures, 6 figures, it's like, or whatever, you don't have 2,000 backers. That doesn't mean your stuff isn't good. It just doesn't mean you haven't gotten there yet. But the thing is, are there things that you could do or not do? Yeah, sure, maybe. And like I said, yeah, your mileage may vary.
And if you're not doing the things that you could be doing, shut the fuck up and stop complaining. Like if don't just complain. If you're allowed to complain if you're trying. If you're not trying, shut the fuck up.
I mean, it's like, because like, look, if you're not going to do TNA covers, then fine, don't do them.
Don't.
But at the same time, it's like, could we stop complaining that you're not getting ahead because you're not doing TNA covers? Like, look, if you already made the decision you're not going to do that, then that's done. That's off the table.
Yep.
I mean, it's one thing to sit around and kind of like us, kind of ruminate as to, okay, what's a strategy that we can use here? And you have to decide which strategies are going to be applicable to you and what aren't.
Right.
But in the end, it's like, look, surround yourself with people who are on the same wavelength as you, and don't worry about the opinions of people who are not in the arena with you. Right. And also it's like, we're 0% on what you cannot control. Right. Yeah. Does the industry kind of feel like it's working against us? Yeah. But in the end, it's like, if you can't do anything about it, just move on. It's like, it's not an excuse. It's just what it is. Now figure out how to work around it. We've been working around the industry for decades. When Diamond decided, when all these distributors collapsed, right, exactly. It's never the secret to success, and, when all these, when Diamond became big dog and all of a sudden didn't want to have anything to do with any independent comics whatsoever, we had to work around that system, and we figured it out. This is just another system we have to figure out how to work around. That's it. That's all it is. So I think that's enough bitching from me. I think that's enough bitching from me. Don't you think?
I'll listen to you bitch all day.
But I want to thank Sam for putting out that video. I really needed it this morning. I think it helped really clarify my thoughts, even though it kind of did, even if it didn't sound like, I think that it did. So everyone watch it, it's in the show notes. And yeah, you know what? It's like, that's all I got. You got anything else, Nita?
No, I mean, okay, so like network stuff, right?
Okay, all right, let's get back to business.
Yeah,
let's get back to
business side. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of new shows coming up. It's going to be chaotic for the next couple of weeks while we organize everything new. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, Indie Comics Network as well as Indie Comics Network After Dark. Some of our usual shows will be returning to their normal time slot, except starting tomorrow. Dispatches from Outside the Box is going to be moving to 9 p.m. Eastern instead of 8. And I think that's the only one that's actually moving time slots. Shots with Comics will be moving from Indie Comics Network to Indie Comics Network After Dark. That'll be returning on the 9th. We've got Fyke-It, Let's Draw, which is going to be Rodney Fike's draw stream. That's coming. That's going to be Monday afternoons. Damn, man. Tina and I will be doing Indie Rush. There's a bunch of shit. Y'all pay attention. Pay attention and get those notifications. Linktree. Indie Comics Network. Yeah, that's it. Fuck it.
There we go.
That's my business and I'm minding it.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. Yeah. So the number one rule of 2023, mind your business, right? Let's do that. So thank you everybody in the comments for being the supportive weirdos that you all are. thank you to the 13 people who are watching us from regions beyond. Thank you for lasting this long. Like, I don't know what I was saying. I don't know. It's like, you know what? I'm sure it made sense to somebody. You know, it's like look, today I came completely unprepared. It's gonna happen. Who knows? You know, whatever. If you want more organized shows, even
you better go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like go watch the replay of JD's talking comics on a Sunday night. Even when he had an open call on the show, it was supposed to be complete chaos. It was incredibly organized. It was very organized. You know, everybody. Yeah. So it was very good. So go ahead and watch the show yesterday. It's on the replay. You know, so yeah. So if you're into more organized shows, go watch that. If you just want more stream of consciousness, whatever, depending on how I wake up this morning, watch this show. You're in the right place. So, any final words, Nita?
No, that's it. Mind your fucking business.
There you go.
Stop complaining. Just stop. Like,
do the work.
Just do the work. Just let's stop complaining and stop fucking feeling like every goddamn thing is a competition.
Right.
Like 23 is gonna be the year. I'm just like for real. Like usually it's like, oh, I'm out. That was my last fuck. 22 was my last fucking. It's gone. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna
field. It is.
I'm
barren.
doing my shit completely. Like,
so if you want to see more of my artwork and less of my complaining, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites. But I mostly post on Facebook if you're into seeing sketches and current work in progress updates and pretty much real-time updates I put on Facebook. And don't forget, you can watch all my videos on how I make my comics, including replays of all my streams and of this show as well, on my YouTube at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network and Indie Comics Network After Dark. Yes, Jake, let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yes. And yeah, so you know what? And it's like, yeah. And don't forget, when you're at my website, sign up for our monthly newsletter, where not only will you get free comic PDFs for joining, but regular updates about our current and upcoming crowdfunding campaigns. I did my schedule for the year, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to be pushing it again this year, but you know what? Hopefully in a way that'll keep the panic attacks at a minimum. You know, and
we're pushing it softly.
Yeah, we're pushing it softly this year. That's softly and gently. You know, a little romantic.
Last year was tying it down in whips and chains. This year is like
a little romantic.
Pet me. It's the aftercare.
Yeah, it's like, you know, little romantic music in the background. You know, keep hydrated. That's whole thing. And speaking of keeping hydrated, in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, both literally and figuratively, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Happy 2023, everybody. Let's go forward however we need to. But yeah, you know what? Let's have a good time doing this. So see you guys next time.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together. Get your shit together.